Yeah, yeah. And so you get to a match day, whether it's midweek or on the weekend. For you personally, are you watching the game, analyzing it from the bench with the players and the staff? Are you in a suite like higher above in the stands? Are you at home? Where are you watching the games from and then analyzing them?
Allora, sorry, I, I turned into Italian for a moment.
Any of our Italian listeners would have understood that.
Yeah.
Guys, sorry guys.
You're all
You're
good.
good.
Anyway, yeah, with our team, we are having two analysts on top in the stands who are filming the game and reporting directly through the AirPods to another guy who stays in the bench. Because this is the third season, who you can actually talk directly to the bench.
Yeah.
Before, it wasn't allowed.
All right. And I would like everyone to know, just in case they didn't, right now he is working with Roma. I didn't specify that before. So when he's talking about what he's doing right now with his current team, that is with Roma. If you don't know, they won the Europa Conference League this year. And I'm sure you were a very large part of that being able to happen. So congratulations.
Small but important.
Small but important. The importance what matters. You were very important to
Yeah.
helping that team succeed. But yeah, for anyone wondering, that's the team that he is working for currently. But yeah, back to what we were saying before.
Yeah. So are you or do you switch around? Are you sometimes up top in the stands or sometimes on the bench? How is that decided?
Let's say that, as I was saying before, we have our responsible who has worked, for example, in this case of Roma, has worked with Mourinho before. This same guy who has taught me a lot about the game and this professional, he was with Mourinho in 2010 when Inter won the Champions League.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that is amazing because with Mourinho, I can say the match analysis really started in Italy. Before, it wasn't really something you would do, or it wasn't even understood what could improve in a team of work. But exactly, so my responsible is down in the bench, speaking directly to the other guys of the staff and the manager, and we are staying on the stands, helping him through the game to see whatever is coming on, tactical changes, or a player is injured, things like that are really important, actually, really important.
Yeah, super important. Do you know when a substitution or change of formation or tactics is about to happen, generally speaking, during the game? Or is there frequent times when you're surprised and you're like, oh, we switched from a 4-3-3 to a 3-4-2-1?
Yeah, I mean, that's the amazing part for me, because who loves this game, who likes this kind of profession, is because you want to study, prepare the game, and be, in advantage to your opponent. So every time you think about strategy, you know pretty much everything about what they should do or they are trying to do, but then something that never happened before can happen, and so you need to reorganize. And for me, that's the best part of the job, to continuously find a solution. That's the amazing part in football for me, in our role specifically.
Yeah. And so we've talked a little bit about Jose Mourinho and you working under him for the this year especially, and he's one of the greatest managers of all time, we can say. And does his reputation at all affect how you do your job compared to maybe in the past? Whether it be in the academies at AC Milan or Inter Milan, where it's a lesser known manager, does that affect, knowing he's this great manager, does that affect how you do your job?
I know what you mean. Honestly, the level of Italians manager, even if you go in the third division, is very high normally.
Yeah,
I would say in average they are better than the managers in the other countries, but because we are so focused into tactics. Then Mourinho, for example, for me is exceptional, also for the tactical side and technical side, because he is a top manager. We know that.
Yes.
But there are things that he is amazing, like understanding a situation, or the feelings he can create in the players, the atmosphere he can bring in, and those things makes an impact huge. I think every manager, even in NBA or in American football, whatever, when you can bring that energy, when you can actually have an impact on players, you have you're in a strong advantage.
Yeah, most definitely. Knowing that Mourinho has often in the past played a more defensive style of football and counterattacking more specifically, do you have to tailor your suggestions or solutions to the game to that style of football? And with different managers, do you tailor it differently, or do you always sort of give the same suggestion and then the manager or your boss giving it to the manager decides whether to take that and use it or not?
It really depends. I mean, we know exactly our role, and also we know what we can suggest or not. I mean, in terms of hierarchy, you know what I mean. So we speak to our responsible, and we always do what is best for the team. And the thing is, the manager has a strong, let's say, tactical behavior, and he really believes in what he's doing. So nobody could really say, you should do something different, because he is the manager and he is the man who pass the message to the players. So we can just try to, of course, give him the best solutions, but then it's always about the managers. Even Spalletti or Conte had really strong ideas that sometimes you can say you can do in a different way, but at the very end, the managers are the ones who takes the decision, and you need to support them, of course, telling them what can be done better, but at the same time, you need to be strongly supportive, and that's the best thing you can do. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, and some things, as you said with Mourinho, he can bring the atmosphere and the energy. Obviously, with your job, you're looking at formations, tactics, tendencies of players. But is it harder to, do you take into account when analyzing maybe a club has a manager like Mourinho that brings great energy and strength to his team, or the atmosphere of the crowd and the fans at a certain stadium might affect your players more, or any other outside aspects? Is that harder for you to then prepare a game plan compared to maybe at home against a team, just looking at tactics wise, not the atmosphere of the crowd?
Oh, no, it's fundamental. We know exactly when you go to a certain stadium, even with lower clubs that you think on the table, but it's going to be difficult, it's going to be tough, and that is taken into account every time, because the crowd is so passionate. So in some stadium it's really a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Rome, our fans are unbelievable. I mean, I was used with Inter and I love them, of course, because I am still an Inter fan, but
you are a fan. Yes.
I am also professional, so I go to Rome and I need to do the best for my team, of course. And the fans of Rome are amazing, something that I have never seen, honestly. And they are really, they have a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
I remember on the other way, for example, some players are scared by San Siro, because if you go into the field and you get wrong the first passages, or you do something wrong, maybe they're gonna scream at you, they're gonna say something. So you need to have a strong attitude, and it really depends a lot. So even that, football, the more that I go on, football is about everything. Everything can be true or not in the same way. It really depends on the context of that.